Guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Tuesdays in the Attic. We're doing a twofer on this one since I've been behind so much, and we're using my How to Kill a Kit with Style. Here's one of the Freaky Fast formulas. So I'm doing two of them that were supposed to be done earlier this month and do a 2-page spread. So what I'm going to do is have each page be a Freaky Fast formula from earlier in the month. So these are back from July and August of 2018. Using my How to Kill a Kit with Style, which is my Mercy Tiara Gather kit. Huge kit. Beautiful kit. Love it. Glad I'm doing a 2-page spread too, though, just to get some of it used up. So right now I'm just kind of fiddling with the papers, trying to figure out what papers I want to go with what, because I really want to use the darker floral that is from, is that the Farmhouse collection? I think that's the American Crafts Farmhouse collection. So I have these two beautiful creamy cardstocks. I think it's Cream Puff that we are going to use as our base. And I end up not using a ton of one of them. So I taped them together because sometimes I like to do that when I start, thinking that I will have a piece overlapping, and then that's just so much easier to see it all together. And then when I cut them apart, I just cut between the 2 pages. But I end up not needing that because, like, as I started doing this, I realized, no, I'm just going to do one of the formulas for one page and one for the other page. So first off, like I said, I really wanted to use this dark floral. It's the colors in it were making me happy. And then I wanted to kind of bring out the colors in it. So I wanted to use some of the other pieces from it. So the first cut is a 10 by 12 for this. So the left-hand side is going to be the July 2018. So the first Freaky Fast formula I showed you, which was supposed to be for earlier this month. Every Tuesday I'm supposed to be doing these, and obviously I'm very behind. So when will I be caught up? I'm going to stop promising because it's just not happening. But I did want to get going on this and show you and tell you all the cuts and everything and get going on one of them. So I figured, why not do a 2-pager? That would probably help a lot. So a 10 by 12, 4 by 7, and then we need a 2 by 12, a 3 by 6, and then a half by 12, and a 3-inch circle. So I'm going to do my 3-inch circle out of this blue. This happens to be some purple tape from suggested by Sandy. That's why it's called purple, but it's purple tape. It's basically painter's tape, but it's just low adhesive, so it's good for holding stuff down, like papers when you're trying to do mixed media, etc., that kind of thing. But it happens to be 3 inches across, and since my other trimmer broke, and my circle cutter broke, but I really like my new circle cutter, but it doesn't go really smaller than 3 3/4. Yeah, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm on the hunt for some punches or dies. I could use my silhouette, but to me this is a lot of work just to get that out. But I guess if I'm going to cut a bunch of circles, it makes sense. But anyway. So now I'm cutting this piece down. Let's see, what am I doing? Am I cutting the other pieces now? Oh, I realized I needed a longer piece than I thought. I was trying to save some of those cut aparts. You can see I saved one of them because I really like the saying on it. And so I fiddled with the cut apart sheet a little bit, and then I realized that I needed another pattern, and I wanted the other side of the cut apart sheet. So I was piecing together one of them because I just started cutting up the cut apart sheet, and then I realized, oh yeah, I need that. So there are my cuts for that left side, and the right side is a 6 by 10.5, 3.5 by 9, 2.5 by 10, 2x2 and a 2x5.5. Some really small pieces and a couple bigger ones. But I really liked the idea of just doing some layering to get a lot of the color. And this is where I decide, oh, I think I'm going to do this. And then I will salvage the rest of the white cardstock, the creamy cardstock behind that pattern paper. So after I get it glued down, I will salvage. And so I have all these photos of my son and my cousin's son playing outside. I'm pretty sure we were all gathered for my grandma's somethingth birthday. I want to say maybe 90th? Possibly. Because I think I have a picture of my sisters and I with my grandma on the same date. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was for, and that would make sense because all I know is for sure is the date, and it's roughly around her birthday, and if it's not on her birthday, I think it's close to. And my son and my cousin's son are very close in age, and they are running around outside, and we're at the nursing home where my grandparents are. So it's the only reason that I would think that, and it's not Christmas, it's not Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty sure we're there celebrating her birthday, because I think we did celebrate one of her big birthdays when they were in the nursing home. So, but they're running around outside. I can tell that it's outside there, and they're both dressed up. Like, they're all wearing blue, and that was her favorite color, and I'm pretty sure that was the point. So it's kind of made for a fun photo op, but it was beautiful out for November. Kind of like how we had our November this year, but it was beautiful out. So they are running around. And I decided, since I had to have one circle, a lot of times when I have to have one circle, but I have all these other elements I need to fit in, I end up going circular with things. So I'm cutting a bunch of my photos into circles. So I'm doing some of them 4 inches and then some of them 3 inches, just to have the various sizes. And I have the wiggle room on my photos to do that. So yeah, I just traced that tape again on the photos too, and I'm just cutting those into circles too. So circles on circles on circles. So I'm doing tons and tons of circle photos. So now I've got all my photos cut. The one fit perfectly on, I was able to trim it down so it fit perfectly on one of the cuts for the left-hand page. I'm pretty sure it was the 4x7, no, 3x6 probably. The 3x6. And so now I will just play with those papers and photos and kind of shuffle them around. It took me a while to figure out a good placement for them, but I did get it eventually. And then I wanted to take the one saying that is on the one card. I cannot read it for you at the moment. The layout is not near me. And I'm actually icing my back while I'm doing this. So I don't want to get up and find it. But I really liked the saying on that card, that 3x4 card that I cut out. So I decided to have that as a circle on there to kind of bring in the circles on the left side more, since I have the one 3-inch circle cut of paper. And then I could put a doily, and then that could be something that I carry over to the right-hand side. So now I'm just kind of arranging my circles, my photos, and figuring out how I would like them. And then I have a couple other circles, and then decided, you know what would be good? If I'm going to have these bigger circles, yeah, I should punch more little circles, and we can plop those around too. So I'm punching circles out of the other side of the dark floral paper that I used on the left, which is the beautiful blue. And then I'm doing some of the white pattern that I have below, and then I'm doing some of the dark blue side. And then I will also do some of my favorite paper on the right that I use, which is that heart paper. just to bring those patterns all to both sides. That's how I make them kind of match or go together. So I start using some elements that can go on either side. I noticed I could see a lot of pencil on the one photo, so I was erasing it. So yeah, a lot of fiddling, and now I'm going to mat all these photos on scraps and other papers that will coordinate so that they have just a little bit of a mat. And I have a couple of these scraps left, just in case I decided I needed to add more circles and more colors. But I noticed that some of the patterns were kind of get lost on each other. So just to ink the edges a little bit, just to give them kind of a halo, I decided to ink all the edges of all the circles in Antique Linen, Distress Oxide. And am I doing anything else? What am I doing? Am I adding foam? Yes, I'm popping that up. I'll pop up a couple things. Not too many, though. I'll leave this one pretty flat, but I really wanted to pop that up. But yep, I'm going to Antique Linen all the edges of everything and glue everything down now because I'm liking the way it's turning out. And the Antique Linen is not something you can see a ton. Like, it's not super, super obvious, but it's enough that it does make them kind of pop, or at least have almost like a highlight to make them pop off all that other pattern as well. All right, now that I'm getting everything glued down, I realize that the entire right side is not glued down. It is only being held together by the circles that I adhered. So we'll glue that down. And then we're going to grab some of the embellishments, which consists mostly of a few ephemera pieces I end up adding from, I think it's Echo Park. I wanted to get some of the critters on from the Echo Park sticker sheet because they're adorable. And these are photos of kids running around playing, so why not? And then these beautiful foam thickers from American Crafts that are really pretty, and they say nice things, and yeah. So I did shove that giant square one. This is something about fall. Like I said, I'm icing my back while I'm doing this, so I can't get up and get it. But you'll be able to see better in the close-ups. And if you have this set, you know what I'm talking about. But there were a lot of really neat fall elements, plus some foam, like little leaf bundles with acorns, just leaves by themselves. So I kind of scattered that stuff all throughout, making that something that's cohesive on both sides, both pages. And once again, that's just kind of how then you kind of tie everything together and make them not look like two separate pages, even though they kind of still do. But I'm all about that. I think that's fine. You don't have to have a 2-page spread be perfectly coordinated where it's asymmetrical, this and this and this and this exactly mirror images of each other, or an extension. Sometimes 2-page spreads are fun when they are more coordinating pages than matchy pages, if that makes sense. But then you have these elements that tie them both together to make you realize that they do go together. And I think I accomplished that, at least in my eye. I accomplished that for these two. So yeah. Adding some stickers, finding whatever circular elements I can find, and just creating that circular look. More. And yeah, and then I will add some Nuvo drops off camera as well, and you guys will see those in the close-ups in like a pearl dusty grayish color. But here we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this process video, and you'll subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.